Some people are not tired because they work too hard. They are tired because they never truly stop. Their body sleeps, but their mind keeps running, thinking, scrolling, comparing, preparing for tomorrow before today even ends. And slowly, rest starts to feel illegal, because in a world addicted to movement, stillness looks like weakness. If you sit down, you feel guilty. If you do nothing, you feel behind. So people keep moving, even when their soul is exhausted, especially then. And the strangest part is, the world praises them for it. The person who answers messages at midnight. The person who never takes breaks. The person who is always available, always reachable, always productive, always tired. Everyone says they are disciplined, but nobody asks why they cannot rest without anxiety. Because somewhere along the way, human beings stopped resting to recover and started resting only to become useful again. Sleep became fuel. Weekends became preparation. Vacations became content. Even peace became performance. People say they want freedom, but most people do not know what to do with silence. Silence forces you to hear things. Your fear, your loneliness, your emptiness, the thoughts you buried under noise. So instead of resting, people distract themselves. Music, notifications, endless information, constant stimulation, anything to avoid being alone with their own mind. Because deep down, many people are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of stopping long enough to realize they do not know who they are without constant motion, and that changes a person. You begin to live mechanically. Wake up, work, consume, repeat. Days blur together. Months disappear quietly. You laugh less. You feel less. You notice less. Your body survives, but your mind slowly leaves the room. And one day, you wake up exhausted, without knowing exactly why. Not because life is impossible, but because your nervous system never felt safe enough to rest. That is the modern tragedy. Everyone is connected, yet nobody feels close. Everyone has entertainment, yet nobody feels at peace. Everyone is chasing freedom, yet everyone feels trapped inside invisible pressure. Pressure to succeed, pressure to matter, pressure to keep up. And the pressure never ends, because there is always someone doing more, someone richer, someone faster, someone younger, someone ahead. So the race continues. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. A tired mind is easy to control. Exhausted people do not question much. They react. They consume. They obey urgency. They become emotionally weak. Not because they are unintelligent, but because exhaustion shrinks perspective. When your mind is overwhelmed, you stop thinking deeply. You just survive the next day, and survival mode changes your personality. You become impatient, reactive, emotionally numb. Small problems feel enormous. Tiny criticism feels personal. You lose access to the calm part of yourself. That is why rest is not laziness. It is emotional resistance. A deeply rested person sees things differently. They do not panic as easily. They do not chase every distraction. They are harder to manipulate, because they can actually think clearly. And maybe that is why true rest feels so rare now. Because a calm mind is dangerous to a world built on urgency. Think about it. The moment you truly slow down, something strange happens. You begin noticing things. How much of your life is reaction instead of intention? How many choices were made from fear? How much of your identity was built around proving yourself to people who were never truly watching? You realize how much energy was wasted trying to appear valuable. And suddenly, rest becomes more than sleep. It becomes honesty. Real rest forces confrontation, not with the world, with yourself, with the sadness you ignored, the burnout you minimized, the dreams you abandoned quietly. Real rest strips away performance. And for many people, that feels terrifying. Because if you stop performing, who are you? Without productivity, without achievements, without constant validation, who remains? That question follows people at night, which is why so many stay busy. Busyness protects people from self-awareness. But eventually, the body keeps score. The headaches, the anxiety, the emotional emptiness, the feeling that life is moving fast, but somehow going nowhere. And then comes the turning point. The moment a person realizes they cannot heal in the same state that destroyed them. That constant pressure is not strength. It is survival disguised as ambition. And suddenly, rest no longer feels weak. It feels necessary. Powerful even. Because the most dangerous person in modern life is not the loudest one, not the busiest one, not the person constantly proving themselves. It is the person who remains calm while the world loses its mind, the person who protects their peace, the person who can sit in silence without needing distraction, the person who sleeps deeply, thinks clearly, and moves intentionally. That kind of person becomes difficult to break, difficult to rush, difficult to manipulate, difficult to control, because they are no longer reacting to life every second. They are finally living it consciously. And maybe true strength was never about pushing harder. Maybe true strength is the ability to pause without feeling guilty, to breathe without apologizing, to rest without believing you are falling behind. Because life is not only asking you to achieve things, it is asking you to feel them too, to notice the sky, to hear your own thoughts, to sit with people you love without checking the time, to exist without constantly trying to become someone else. And maybe that is the deeper truth. Rest is not the reward after life. Rest is part of life itself. Without it, success feels empty, ambition becomes addiction, and existence turns into survival. So learn to rest deeply, not as escape, not as weakness, but as rebellion. Because in a world that profits from your exhaustion, a peaceful mind becomes a form of power, and people with real peace are far more dangerous than people who never stop moving.